Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada, and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be swatching some new pencils that I received. I can't remember if I received them this month or last month, but anyways, I haven't used them yet. First of all, I was waiting for the case to come for them, which took forever. And now I want to swatch them, and then I have a picture all picked out which I am going to work on next with them. So today is a swatching day, and I have my swatch book here, and I have all my watercoloring supplies around me. So I've put the pencils in my order, which I always do: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink. Then comes the natural colors. You could call them either the earth tones or the skin tones, because that's all the browns and all the beiges and creams. Then come all the grays, and then come the metallics, and then I'm finished. This pack does not have any metallics. Oh, the black and white go at the end or in a separate spot. In this case you can see there is a little spot of 2 for the black and white. Many of the pencil cases do have that. So I'm going to bring you in so that you have a closer look, and I will try very, very hard to make sure that I keep you in the screen. So let's start here. So this is the 60 set of Albrecht Durer aquarelles. So, first color I am doing is number 121, Pale Geranium Lake. And I'm going to start light and then get darker. And then we use our water. Nice. Used a bit too much water there. Okay. This is just sketchbook paper that I'm working on, so to get my water to be quite dry. Alright, so the next one is Permanent Carmine, which is number 126. There we go. Maybe I need a little bit more. These are definitely erase the marks of the pencil and tell why these are such a premium set of aquarelles. I believe there are more expensive sets than this, but for coloring we don't need to get into those high levels. This is high enough. Okay, so let's see, I got a little bit more water on my brush this time. There we go. Oh beautiful. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this is the color Madder. Beautiful. And then we have number 190, which is Venetian Red. Putting this down, it seems to be a brown red. Let's see if we can get some darkness going at the end there. Okay. Yes, beautiful. And next is 191, which is Pompeian Red. There are lots of reds in the 60 set here. Okay, too much water last time. Let's see what I've got here. Well, that's kind of a, don't really know what to call that. It's definitely browner than the first ones, but I can't say that's my favorite color of red ever. Okay, let's make sure I put these back in the case properly. Alright, so next is number 217, which is Middle Cadmium Red. Okay. Then comes 219, which is Deep Scarlet Red. Now I'm expecting this to be a very bright red. Very nice. Love that shade. And then our last red, which is 225 and called Dark Red. Yeah, I'm going to have to keep my brush fairly dry for doing these swatches on here. This paper. Whoa. Yeah. Nice, bright, vivid colors here. So now we're going to move into the orange and orangish shades. The next one is 111 and it's Cadmium Orange. Nice and bright color there. And the next shade is 115, Dark Cadmium Orange. How we doing? Okay, good. Okay, beautiful orange there. One above was more of a yellow orange. That's the kind of orange I like. And I think that's probably going to be the darkest one. Okay, now the next two I put in orange because I just did. So the next one is Coral, which I never know whether to put it with the peaches or the oranges, but to me Coral has an orange base, so let's check this off and see if it's more of a orange coral or if I should have put it with the pinks. It's looking pinkish on paper so far. I definitely need some water this time. There we go, probably too much. Yeah, it's an orangish pink, so it's there. Now the next one, I didn't know where to put. I've just put it where the barrel color seemed the most appropriate. It's called Sanguine. And now I know that sanguinate means to lose your blood, so sanguine I'm thinking means bloodless. So I thought it would go in orange. Bloodless orange. I've actually heard of bloodless oranges. And this. Yeah, that's definitely an orange color. Now, surrounded by these oranges, my coral is definitely looking pink. So that's it for my oranges. Pretty sure I'll come up with an orange yellow or two. But moving into the yellows, we've got number 104, which is Light Yellow Glaze. So these colors don't have fancy imaginative names. They're actually telling you the proper color names. So this looks like it's going to be a nice bright yellow. Light yellow glaze. Need a bit more water. There we go. Yeah. Nice. Well, I can't sit here saying nice to everything. Okay, so now we have 105, which is Light Cadmium Yellow. So this nice bright yellow there. A bit more color in it than the one before it. Okay, so next, just because this is where they are in my case, I stuck black and white. I'm not going to do the white because there's really no point of putting the white on white paper. So we will skip to black, and it's simply calling itself black. So let's see how much of a black this is. Oh yeah. Definitely a deep dark black. Okay, so we continue on with our yellows, and next we have 107, which is cadmium yellow. Definitely bright, much brighter than the one previous that I thought was bright. And then we have dark cadmium yellow. Now this seems like it's going to be a deep yellow. Now putting it on straight from the pencil, it has orange overtones to it. But when it's wet, it really isn't. It's just a very dark, nice yellow. Now the next one is 109, and it is called dark chrome yellow. And this one definitely seems to be an orange yellow. So I'm finding that these pencils, the colors are matching their barrels really well. Really, really well. They're exactly the colors that I'm expecting them to be. And there we go. With an orange yellow. But it's called dark chrome yellow. So we're getting a lot of yellows in this set, and when you have the smaller sets, yellow is not usually one you get a lot of. So it's quite good. So we have 184, which is dark Naples ochre. Usually when I have ochres, I put them in brown, but this definitely looks like a brown yellow, very light. I mean, that's a light yellow, but it's not as bright as the other two light yellows. So these are definitely beautiful shades of watercolor. And remember, I'm doing this on drawing paper. So, they will... Okay, so we're doing 185, which is Naples yellow. So if they were done on a heavier paper, they would come out even darker. And okay, so this is Naples yellow. Oops. Probably gonna get a wet brush because I left it in the water. Oh, it's no good. Okay. So there is Naples yellow. So we have quite a few shades of yellow here. So we can see that the colors just, they fit right in. And there's no work needed at all to get the pigment to melt into the water here. The next shade is Cadmium Yellow Lemon, but the barrel and the pigment at the top are looking to be a green yellow. Oh, sorry, I don't think I said the name right. It's Cadmium Yellow Lemon. So yeah, just with the dry pigment, we've definitely got a very light green yellow. Got a lot of water on there. No. That was a bit too much water there. Okay, so yeah, whoops, there we go. See, it's got a tint of green in it. And now we are moving on to the greens. These aren't, they're arranged by number, but that does not make them arranged light to dark. So our first one is leaf green. So definitely what you expect from a leaf green. Nice, beautiful shade. Beautiful shade. And the next one is 156, which is cobalt green, and this is looking like an aqua. Look at that. These are beautiful shades. Beautiful pigment. I just love swatching out my colors for the first time. It's like such a soothing, relaxing thing to do. Now we have 158, which is deep cobalt green. You could almost do this with no talking and just listening to the sounds. ASMR. But I want to tell you the color names. So that's beautiful. Deep cobalt green. So while the cobalt green definitely has blue shades, this one not so much, but they're both our turquoise greens. That one is what I would call, this is what I would call peacock green. Okay, so next one is 163, which is emerald green. Okay, the pigment is definitely going on as expected for this color. And just look at the pigment and the barrel. They're perfect matches. Well, okay. I don't think we can say anything is perfect, but you can't ask for better than that. Okay, well, it's got quite a bit of water on it, so it would probably definitely get a deeper shade out of that with less water. Okay, so then next we have number 165, which is juniper green. Okay. I know a juniper is a type of tree, and this is definitely what I would be thinking of as some kind of evergreen color. Isn't a juniper one of those kind of like evergreen trees with the white berries on it? So yeah, they're actually working nicer than I would have expected on this drawing paper, because my paper's not pilling at all. Now I have earth green yellowish. Lovely. So the Albrecht Durer pencils are German made, and the 60 set is the second biggest set you can get. There is, after this comes the full set of 120, which is a really large jump in sets. So it's very hard to decide which to get. Light green, 171. So in Canadian dollars, the full set is getting you like $270, which is I think that's just way too much to pay for pencils when you're just going to be using them in a coloring book. So what I figured I would do is buy the 60 set, which was expensive enough. And as I used them, if I found that I was, like if I needed more oranges, because there's only 4 to choose from there, I would buy some open stock colors to add to these. Next we have olive green yellowish. And yeah, just the kind of color I'm expecting from what the barrel looks like. Yeah, so I'm not using too much water on these because they will definitely wreck the paper, and I only have a small spot. Okay, so we have chrome green opaque, which is 174, so it doesn't look much different to the one we've just done by seeing the barrels close to each other, but as soon as I put this down, I'm definitely getting into the deeper, more pine shades. Well, let's look what that looks like with our color added to it. Like, see how it just breaks down the color? There's no pigment left on the paper with these at all, and it takes no scrubbing. This is my first time using the Albrecht Durers, so my opinion that I'm giving you here is my first time experience with these. They are lovely to work with. Next one is 264. We have dark phthalo green. And I just need to take a sip of my pop. Okay, so this one's getting into a bright color again. Let's deepen it up there. Add some water. Don't need a bit more than that. There we go. Beautiful. Now that's got just a hint of blue in it too. That would go with my marine greens. These two up here, which are definitely the turquoise blues. This one would fit nicely with that too. So since these are working so well on the drawing paper, the next color is 267 Pine Green. Since these are working so easily on the drawing paper, I would not be afraid to try them on Create Space paper. Sorry, Amazon paper. Now this is our Pine Green and it's our last one. So we have a fair bit of greens, but not as many as I would have expected, because any set of colors that you get, you usually have the most greens and then just slightly less blues. But how many greens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And how many reds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, yeah. That was pine green. Okay, so now we're stepping into the blues. And we start off with 110 of phthalo blue. Starting to not give these enough water. There we go. Beautiful. Just beautiful. And again, it just melts. And then we move on to 120, which is ultramarine. ultramarine blue. Another bright blue. And next up we have light ultramarine. Now we come to Delft blue. This one is quite dark compared to anything that we've done yet. And this is definitely a purple, a purplish blue. Almost like indigo. Wow. I don't even really call that blue. It's definitely a purple, shown up next to all the other blues. Yeah, you're not getting the brightness of the colors here that I am. That's a shame. These are very bright. This color that I've just done now is an indigo. It's a very purplish blue, and yeah, you're not, I'm not seeing it on the camera, so I don't think you will either. Okay, so now we have bluish turquoise. So I call these my marine colors. Colors I can use when I'm coloring marine pictures, sea life, all that kind of stuff. This is beautiful. I love it. Turquoises and aquas and such are my favorite colors to color with. And just look at that pigment melt. Oh, that is a deep, bright color. I may try to put a filter on this when I am editing it so that the colors come out more true-ish, because what we're getting right there is definitely not the brightness of the colors. Okay, so we're coming down to the last ones. I just turned to my last page in my case. 151 Helio Blue Reddish. Alright, so that's going to tell us that it's a purple based color. So yeah, this is looking like a light indigo. Whoa, beautiful. Beautiful blue. And the next one is cobalt turquoise. Now, didn't we have something like that? We had cobalt green and deep cobalt green. Cobalt turquoise. That's a deep color. It was hard to make it light. Gorgeous. Oh man, I'm just in love with these blues. They are so deep and vivid. Okay, so now we come up to dark indigo. Let's just see the difference between our indigo and the deft blue. Because blue, indigo is at the point where blue turns into purple. Very dark navy color there. And next we come up with Prussian blue. Yeah, these are beautiful to work with, both dry and wet. Okay, so I have one more blue left, but I'm going to have to turn the page. So let's just see how many blues we got. We had 11 greens, and for blues we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we don't get that page wet. Put that there. Okay, so our last blue is Indanthrene blue. Okay. This was the shade I was looking for. The blue that has a lot of purple in it. Indanthrene blue. A bit of water. That. Where do I go? Whoops. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to try putting a filter on this so you can see these colors. So now we're into the purples, and we have purple violet, these are nice. When you push hard on them, you don't get any dust or bits. Oh, I need a touch more water. I'm not putting too much water on them anymore. I'm having a hard time getting enough. That's gorgeous. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to set it there. Okay, and then we have, so that was purple violet, and the next one is red violet. Put a little extra pressure on at the end. So there we have a purple that is getting close to a magenta. And our next one is mauve. I know some people say mauve, but I actually never heard anybody pronounce it that way until I started watching coloring YouTubes. In real life, I've always heard it pronounced mauve. And that is just a beautiful purple. Oh yes, I love that. I would wear these colors. So that's it for our purples. So we've got 3. And now we go on to the pinks, and we have rose carmine, now I just want to go back and take a look at that coral. Oh, where is it? It's right here. Now, putting a pink beside it makes it look orange. Stuck there in the middle of the orange as it looks pinkish, but I think if it was stuck in the middle of the pinks it would look orange. So I definitely won't move that color. Okay, so rose carmine we have. So this is a 60 set, and we've done a full page in my thing here, which holds 44 if the top 2 are used. So that's 42 out of 60, so we're coming down to the end of our colors here. So rose carmine. Very nice rose shade. And our next one is middle purple pink. Definitely looks like a light violet to me. Let's get some water on it. Oh yeah, the pink really stands out when you add the water to it. Darn, I've gone over here. Can't really pick any color up on this thing, on this paper. Alright, so our next color is Pink Madder Lake. This is a very pale pink, kind of pink you would want to use on for pale pink lipstick. That's what it reminds me of. Well, this one I'm finding a little difficult to blend. Yeah, I got a bit of pigment here that's getting pushed around the page and not melting. Let's take it off. That's interesting, yeah. This one just isn't. My paper's starting to pill now. Now one color. Okay, and then finally we go on to magenta. Now, to me, magenta, I mean, I've looked it up, and magenta is called a purplish pink or pinkish purple, and but to my eyes, magenta will look more pink depending on the colors that surround it, and will look more purple due to the colors surrounding it. So I usually put it at the end of my pinks, and that is just beautiful. Beautiful. And that is the end of our pinks. We have 4. And how many purples did we have? We had 3. Alright, well that gives us 7 colors to use in those pretty pinky purple. I'm just going to have another sip here. And then we're going to be moving on to the neutrals. The peach and brown and cream and so we've got cream, which is coming here. Could have put this with yellow, but I usually put off-white and cream and, you know, peach, and when they use the word flesh for a color, I always put those in my neutrals. Alright, let's just pick up a bit more water here. It's difficult to see. It's definitely a light cream, but it changes the shade of the paper to a yellowish looking color. Yeah, I think you can see the change there. So next we get into the browns, and I don't know if these are going to be colors that can be used for flesh or not. I think that's where the 60 set is lacking, is when you want flesh tones, when you want all the different browns, and you want all the light, fair, off-white, and pale, not quite pinks. So this is Van Dyke brown. And then we have walnut brown. Those look very similar to each other, except this one just has that hint of red into it. Personally, I wouldn't use any of these as flesh colors. Raw umber, I would get out my pan watercolors if I was going to make a watercolor portrait, though I don't do people that often. I need a bit more water. There we go. So got a couple of browns left. We have burnt ochre. So it's definitely a variety of browns, though. I mean, you could use these all together on nature pictures, animals, or landscape. I have several browns to use together. See how this one's orangish. And the last brown is burnt sienna. I'll push you up a bit there now. That's a nice brown. So we have 5 browns and a cream when it comes to the natural tones. And then into the grays, there's a small selection of grays, but for a colorist, we don't need all those grays that we get with the Prismas. You want that if you're a sketch artist. You need the grays. So if you were sketching your own pictures with these, you definitely need to get the 120 set. And that's where I see the difference in, so this is cold gray too, and it's a very pale gray. And see, that's where I see the difference between the 60 set and the 120 set, is that the sketch artist, and we're going to go with cold gray 4, the sketch artist is going to get all the grays and all the browns and all the creams and very, very pale pinks and all those portrait colors, which you just don't need as a colorist. So, I mean, if you have the money, then, yeah, I say go ahead and buy the 120, because why not, eh? We all have full set syndrome. And, you know, if I could afford to just blow close to $300 in Canadian money, I would have got the full set too. I just wish they had an in-between set, like an 80, because warm gray too, because then I feel that that would probably be an excellent set. You'd get more of the colors, but you don't, so buy the 60 set if you're a colorist and money is an issue. and just get some open stock for colors that you feel you're lacking in. And finally, Warm Gray 5. So this is a nice assortment of grays. I mean, you're going to get 4. You've got 2 colds and 2 warms, and they give you a pale and a dark for both of those. And then if we want darker than this, we go to black. So there we go. That is the full 60 set of Albrecht Durer watercolors, and I think they are wonderful. The pigment is beautiful, bright and vivid. The laydown is creamy and smooth. And I only had problems with one color. That was this rose carmine. I had a, oh no, it wasn't. It was this one, Pink Madder Lake. I'm gonna try an extra one over here. Actually, I'm just gonna go to the back of my book. Oh, you know what we'll do? Let's take this one that we were having problems with, and let's put it on watercolor paper, and see if we have problems melting the pigment. Yeah, no. Let's take that and this one. Okay, let's blend these together. Yeah, they weren't nice. Okay. That was a little extra play. Okay, so that is that, and I am really excited to get to using these. And when you see these, I will probably have put a filter over them and expect them to be as close to real color as possible that I can make them, because you will have heard me talking about doing that throughout the video, but obviously when you watch this, I will have done it. So thank you for spending your time with me, and I hope that didn't put you to sleep, or if it's late at night, I'm glad I helped put you to sleep. So in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.